So after Slab City, I went to the top end of the Salton Sea. I didn't get to check out as much as I would have liked. There's quite a few ghost towns around there. It's the land of bright ideas, kind of like Slab City. I have a friend in Borrego Springs, and so I went around the top of the Salton Sea and then back down on the west side and headed over to Borrego Springs. I got there last night, and this morning I'm going to go out and explore. Borrego Springs is a popular destination for snowbirds, yet another one. This whole area seems to be. It is completely surrounded by the Anzo Borrego State Park. Plus there's a little bit of BLM land which allows for fee-free camping for parts of the year. Borrego Valley, where the town is situated, is in the extreme southwest corner of the Sonora Desert. Sometimes it's just good to be lucky. It was raining a little bit when I came in, and there's more rain expected today, and it snowed last night. So there's a significant dusting of snow on top of the mountains around me. The mountains with the snow on them are called the Santa Rosa Mountains. And then Anzo Borrego is, I guess, a mixture of a Spanish explorer who discovered, or claimed to have discovered this area, and Borrego, which is lamb, a tipping of the hat to the bighorn sheep that are known to live in this area. By the time I got my stuff together and headed into town, the clouds had moved in and more rain was on its way. Oddly, there was this large dust storm to my west and south, and I wasn't sure if it was rain or dust until I got in it and realized it was dust. The area I'd camped in was, I believe, BLM land, which is now being taken over by the state park system, which means that this whole area will probably become off limits to people who enjoy free camping. This area is also getting a lot of rainfall and snowfall, which I think might be setting the stage for a 100-year bloom, also known as a super bloom, which happens in Anzo Borrego State Park, Joshua Tree National Park, and the Mojave Desert. Borrego Springs is a small town. It sports a really large roundabout in the center of town with a gazebo for picnics and music events. On the outskirts, up into the foothills, is the Anzo Borrego State Park Visitors Center, which is a really cool stone building with lots of hikes and information, a small museum for visitors. The Nature Center has several very short hikes right around it, which is a great place to learn about some of the desert plants, such as the desert agave, which is called the 100-year plant because of the long time it takes to bloom, sometimes 20 years. When it does bloom, the stalk can grow almost a foot a day. On the other end of town, there are all kinds of metal sculptures. Dennis Avery, the late heir to the Avery fortune, commissioned these to depict animals that used to live in the area, some fanciful creatures, and some activities that happen today. There are supposed to be over 130 metal sculptures in the area. It would be fun to try to find them all. Borrego Springs has lots of things to discover in a fairly rich history. It has active palm farms. It has a huge solar array backed up with a gigantic battery backup array, which is being used to test the microgeneration philosophy on Southern California Edison's power grid. I was a little sad that I didn't have more time to explore and hike. I did, however, decide to go out what was to me sort of the back way, over the pass. It is a fairly steep climb and is heading west towards Los Angeles. I paused 3/4 of the way up to kind of let my transmission cool off and take a walk before I finally left the area. As Maya and I walked, I began to see a lot of grass, a lot of greenery that I don't think is normally there, and the flowers were starting to bloom. I have a sneaking suspicion that a super bloom is on the horizon. Borrego Springs was a really nice surprise. I was amazed at how much stuff there was to discover and sad that I didn't have a lot more time to investigate. So I finalized this video several weeks later, and indeed a super bloom had come to the Anzo Borrego Desert and should be going strong for the next week or two depending on how much rain they get. I hope you've liked my video. If you have, please subscribe and like, and we'll see you on the road. Thanks for watching.